But then you need to probably get an attorney and talk to him. Yeah. And then take it.
There's
Some good
nobody
one.
there.
So,
So
I'm about to check. Somebody just stick on. Then I'll go along.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. All right.
Where's Scotty? Thinking about doing.
There's three of them.
Get better and everything.
Yeah.
Both of the best.
Absolutely.
Yesterday was the
Yes.
7th. Yeah, the
See, this
14th.
Tuesday morning meeting, I figured you're a little taken up.
The what?
This Tuesday morning meeting.
Oh, I don't never.
Oh, yeah, I think you need to get over here and do a couple things.
There's one on.
I think every council meeting night, you want to be here at that Tuesday morning meeting.
You know what? I think we're gonna have
I think we can make that happen.
If that's the case.
Last night.
It don't matter.
What time did it start?
You got voice.
Cause I was up there around.
Yeah,
four,
we talked
nobody
about
around.
I want some of this about 3 hours long.
Things.
I don't even, I can look at somebody and say,
I
well,
got it down for 4 o'clock.
I don't have a secretary.
Kick off meeting for the strategic.
Yeah, what was the one last time? Just their regular, no,
That's what it was.
but yeah, and just
Any earlier than that.
fussing about.
So.
Well, they said.
No, I didn't want any part of that.
That's long. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, ma'am. The proclamation for, oh, we just presented.
She just gave it.
Oh,
Board read it out last.
Did he? Okay, good.
I think he read that first paragraph, but not the entire thing.
That ain't that long.
Yeah.
Or she presents, just either read it out or say proclaim April and sexual awareness.
So she's always.
Already got it.
No one. So the 24th. 20.
Got over it.
You're welcome.
That's just fun. Those are fun. Thank you. The absence of Mr. Kettering. Call this meeting to order. It's a regular meeting. The regular city council meeting for April the 8th, 2025. We'll open with prayer and Miss Shirley's gonna lead us.
Father, we thank you for your grace, your mercy, Father. We thank you for blessing this meeting today. I ask that you'll touch the city council members, Lord God, as they prepare to do your work. I pray that you give them wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of what it is that you will have them to do and to serve this community. We thank you for every person that is here in representation. We just want to say thank you for your love, your grace, and your mercy.
Yes, Lord. Amen.
Would you pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The roll call, please.
Councilmember Brown. Councilmember Hampton. Councilmember Woodfall.
Here.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Here.
Mayor Ketchum. Maybe.
Do you have a motion to approve items on the consent agendas?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Councilmember Brown.
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton. Yes. Councilmember Woodfall.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Yes. So tonight we will look at ordinances 1050 and 1052. 1050 is an ordinance of the city of Perry, further amending the city of Perry Municipal Police Officers Retirement Trust Fund, restated by ordinance number 881 as subsequently amended, amending section 5, contributions, amending section 6.
That's item.
I thought I had to read it by title only. I don't. When I get there, I read it by title only.
Yeah, when you get there.
Good. I won't do that right now. Okay. Learn as you go. That's what this job is. Okay.
Yes.
At this time, we'll receive requests from the general public. If you have something you'd like to state, come to the microphone. We welcome you to this meeting. It's a time set aside for our citizens and the general public to address the council on any matter not included on the agenda. It's not a question or answer time. It's not a political forum. It is a time, it's not a time for personal accusations or derogatory remarks to or about council or city personnel. If you want to address the council, please come to the podium when you're called and speak to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. Please also limit your comments to not more than 5 minutes for individuals and 10 minutes for groups or delegations. Is there anyone who would like to speak to the council at this time that's not on the agenda?
Hello, my name is Ernestine Mitchell, and I am Refuge House. I'm the sexual violence coordinator for Refuge House, serving Taylor, Jefferson, as well as Madison County. And this week, we just want to show our support to the survivors of sexual violence. We want to get the word out and let everyone know that this month, April, is Sexual Violence Awareness Month. And so if I could just read something from the National Sexual Violence Resource Center, just showing you what the theme of this year's is, so that we can come together as a community. And the theme is Together We Act, United We Change. This year's theme highlights the importance of working together to address and prevent sexual violence, sexual abuse, assault, and harassment. This campaign focuses on enhancing public understanding of sexual violence, amplifying the voices of survivors, and empowering us to work together to promote the safety and well-being of others. Everyone in our communities deserves to live in a safe and supportive environment where they are treated with respect. When our workplace, schools, and communities work together to uphold safety and respect, we make progress in preventing sexual abuse, assault, and harassment. We act with purpose. Education is the first step to action, empowering our communities to be part of the solution. This campaign works to shift the ways our communities understand, talk about, and respond to sexual abuse, assault, and harassment. We can challenge harmful misconceptions and foster safer communities by learning and acting together. This campaign also seeks to unite us in uplifting the voice of survivors, particularly those most vulnerable in our communities, to build a stronger movement. This campaign aims to develop a movement where younger generations feel included and encouraged to participate and shape a better future. And this week, tomorrow, Refuge House will be having a chalk the block, so that if anyone would like to get out and just write a positive message using the chalks to let the world know that, you know, the Taylor County, City of Perry, we support survivors of sexual abuse, sexual assault, and we just thank you all for showing your representation in the community and having them to know that they do have support in this community. And then also on the 24th, if you would like to join us again and just showing your support for survivors, you can actually take a lap around Rosehead Park, Lockridge Park, anywhere throughout the city. Just take a little quick snapshot of yourself showing that you're taking a little lap. You're also getting a little healthy, little exercise at the same time. So I will be taking a lap at Lockridge Park, and I will also be out here to Rosehead Park, just taking a lap. So if you all would like to join me, that I would greatly appreciate it, but just showing your support for survivors of sexual assault in our community. And my favorite chief over there, thank you always for your service in this community. It's always wonderful. And also, the 21st to the 24th, if you know any nurses who may be interested in becoming a SANE nurse, we have information on Refuge House Facebook page, and they can also visit their website. It's a week-long training from 8 to 5. So if you're interested as a nurse that would like to, you know, show your support and actually service victims of sexual assault, that is a great training opportunity for you all if someone is actually interested. So, and again, I want to say thank you. Thank you for always welcoming Refuge House and allowing us to come before you and to just tell you the wonderful things. Oh, and also Lauren Walk. Lauren Book, she will be in Tallahassee on April 30th. If you're interested in walking to the Capitol, that will be their final destination. The walk will begin at 10:30, I think registration begins, and then they're gonna actually trek it on up to the Capitol. I know you all have seen Lauren Book in our community before, just a wonderful person. So those are a couple of things that you all may do if you're interested in showing your support to survivors of sexual assault. Thank you all. So much.
Thank you.
We have, in recognition of that, we have a proclamation, the City of Perry. I won't read the whole thing because I think it was read at the last meeting, but recognizing the whole month of April as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So thank you for bringing that.
And will we get a picture? Yes. Come on.
They want to get it.
Yeah. Will we take it downstairs for a picture?
Aaron, do we need to move those boxes and stuff?
One, two. 1, 2, 3, and we do one more. 1, 2. Thank you.
People will still put tear ribbons.
That's correct. That's fine.
Just for domestic violence. Okay.
Agenda item 6A, wait,
He's not here.
no, bids and RFQs, I don't think we have any tonight, do we? Okay. And the general business item 6A, Moncrief Irvin. Wanted to address the council. He's not here. Okay, moving to 6B. The council is to discuss select continuing engineering based on RFQ rankings and take any action to be necessary. Mr. John, would you like to present that?
Yes, I think you all got your packet yesterday afternoon, I believe. I'm working on stuff, we're getting the last couple, you call them references they were doing. They ranked all 5 of the firms that submitted an RFQ. I think the top was, I mean, they say it's Honduras
Mm-hmm.
with,
Where are they from?
where are they from?
We have office in Tallahassee, Panama City, and Jacksonville, there's 22 offices.
Are you with that firm now? Okay.
What services was, no, they played. No, they're second. 73.2, and then CPH was third, with 71.8.
Mm-hmm.
The other 2 firms.
Whoa.
Obviously, he was the only one that had a really bad review.
Well, gives them what's called a bad review. If we've asked for information and they don't give us that information, that's a bad review. And we've had that on 2 of them.
This was, CPH you're referring to?
ICE.
They had a little
Second page.
This Minideer guy, they had pretty good reviews, but I think they're a smaller group. They don't have a whole lot of experience.
Which one's that, John?
The Minideer,
Well, yeah, they didn't submit all the information.
Were you present, Bill? Bill, were you present?
Did you go? Were you at the meeting?
Do what?
Were you at the meeting when they were?
No,
they were here for about 5 hours going through all of them here in this room, and then they took the whole week to do the references.
what? The way I view this, what we got here is we like our mother. Hard questions were not in here. But I would, if he wasn't here and I didn't know him, I wouldn't support any of them. I'd want to interview each one of them myself.
Well, I thought you were going. We thought you were going.
And, I got no problem making the selection tonight. Myself,
I think last time we talked about negotiating with 3 of them and then entering contracts.
well, I got no problem doing that either. That's the normal way you do it. Interview 3 of them. 1, 2, 3.
I think it's pretty clear in the rankings what the highest 3 were.
Yeah. And that's CPH, NF, and Honduras. And we'll do it.
Mark,
So
I'll be here.
this one.
No, I won't be here tomorrow. I won't be here tomorrow. I won't be here at the next meeting.
Where are you going? I'm in it.
So Ardura, CPH, and
NSPS.
FBS. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The last time was because my had lost 2 employees, 3 or 4. Okay.
So what is
You
the
know,
next step?
I'd like to go ahead and
I'm
start
okay with
negotiating
that.
contracts with all three of them. Let's get the ball rolling.
I'm
I got
okay
it.
with that.
I got a rip rant that's sitting there needing an engineer bad.
Motion.
Second.
To go ahead and let me start negotiating
Well,
the first three.
first three, I interviewed the first three.
Interview the first three, is
Mhm.
that correct?
We can
Is
do
that
that.
what the motion is?
I'll say interview and start the contract process. I'm not gonna sign a contract till y'all sign it here, but I wanna get the ball rolling. I don't want to just interview and then we come to the next meeting, and talk about
Mhm.
interviews.
You can present the contract, that doesn't mean we've signed it. Until
No,
we, okay,
no,
all right, so that's the
So for the
motion.
sake of clarity, we're making a motion to start the interview process on the top three. We'll present the contracts at next meeting.
Yeah.
You made the
Well,
motion, you made the second. Ms.
Right.
Hampton. Okay. Councilmember Brown.
yes,
Councilmember Hampton.
Yes.
Councilmember Woodfolk.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Yes,
I want to tell John that I am very impressed.
Circap did all of that for us.
yeah, will you get us a copy of these?
He,
When you wanna meet?
everybody or just me and you and Circap?
It's up to him.
You.
I don't have a problem.
we're appointing you to go represent the county.
Motion.
And the next time we just vote on it.
You're not here tomorrow then?
Tomorrow,
No, I won't be here. I'll be in Tallahassee.
I'll get with Circap tomorrow, see if they got availability into this week, Thursday or Friday. That work?
Yeah.
okay, item 6C, city manager shall prepare and submit to the council a 5-year capital improvement or revision or extension thereof on or before April 15th of the current fiscal year, and the council to take any actions deemed necessary.
It will probably change every day until, I think, July, it has to be finalized. It's already changed since the one you have in your hand, but not by a whole lot.
What do the dark spaces on here, what is that?
Those were the ones that were already awarded. I have them in the current column. I can leave that once we get it finalized, but I was just keeping in my mind what we're on
Okay,
doing right now.
so they've already been awarded,
Yes.
okay?
No, I'm still on that here. I've started taking them off as I know that they're coming off. It's just a reminder to me if I need to push it back to the next year, not
Well, this is for 24-25, right?
currently, yes.
So those are,
But this CIP is for 25 through 30,
yeah,
so that column will come off when we
Okay.
finalize it in July. That's
Okay.
just a placeholder for me.
okay. And when you do it next time? Well, I guess you've already got it. I was gonna say, can we get a bottom line, but we've got a bottom line. I guess, I don't know. It looks kind of low to me, but I guess.
Low.
What was it? What was it last year? What was it this current?
Last year,
How much, where, which one?
24 million.
It's 18 for this year, right?
I think 31 total for the 5 years.
Okay. Well, I can't think about 5 years. I can only think about it 1 year at a time. Okay. No, it's not low. You're right. It just, when you first look at it, it's like 32,000 and it's not, it's 32 million.
32
So,
million.
yeah.
Okay, so this is just this is a dream, which is, ain't no way we're getting all of this funded. That's what I'd like to see is get funded.
Right.
That was my question. The only way we'll get improvements at the parks is if you get grants. Yeah. Yeah, there it comes.
For that,
Yeah,
we have 2 applications in for dirt and advanced offers for that. Includes all these. This is what the grant's for. New playground structures, football field, water fountains, renovate fields, bleachers, complete renovation of basketball courts, repair asphalt, add exercise equipment, paint, replace restroom, pretty much that kind of stuff for the Jerkins. Should be here fast enough, I would think, fairly soon.
football field. Yes.
$5,000 in there.
Because I will keep someplace to go. They were out there last year. Yeah.
Mhm.
I would think these 2 perhaps be approved this cycle. That's Andy Easton's one, put those in for us, same one that's been helping us with the CDBG.
Okay.
You know, what he's doing, and we have the lobbyists now, they're up there to tell you where to draw that line, what gets funded and what doesn't.
Since this is a wish list. In here, look over 12 years. And I've been advocating. For an aquatic center. Something to the- And I talk about it next week.
Got any idea what it's- got any idea what it costs?
Depending on what we are, what the council is interested in, if they would be interested. That could be a job for Hank too, right?
I have to see what, should have fallen or something. He specializes in CDBG and FERDAP. You have to find what category it falls in and who does that kind of work. The only thing I don't like about that is it's a lot of ongoing costs for the city, maintaining it and whatnot.
Yeah, but we can also bring in income. It's not that, we just have to do everything ourselves. Community been asking for it.
I'll put it on there and see what's out there.
We get at least know that we hear them. Every time we think about it, something comes up. And I know it might not be done in 5 years, but maybe in 6 years. But Anita's here to answer it all. I appreciate
I mean, it's-
it. Council, is that okay?
I couldn't hear what you were talking about.
You repeat it.
What's the main thing that you were asking for?
Aquatic center.
Aquatic center.
Yeah, I could just be a very nice big
Swimming pool.
but aquatic center is so much better. This is just on the 5-year plan.
Yeah, I understand. I'm just trying to figure out what you're talking about, or what an aquatic center is,
Okay.
as opposed to a
Yeah.
swimming pool.
John had some.
Whoa.
Yeah, nice. And I think it will bring in people. If you all remember, I think, Anita might remember. We were supposed to be using part of that one cent tax for amenities,
Mm-hmm.
and we have not spent a dime.
Okay, put that on our training list. Okay, I see you've got repaving Stevens Street on here.
That was the worst one on that previous list we had. But it is the worst one, probably in the city.
I'm just wondering if that's enough money to do Stevens Street.
That was the estimate,
It's short $1 million.
yeah.
Hmm?
It's short.
It's short, but it's bad. That's,
That one, it should be
that's the one
1.3
with
million.
the landfill underneath it.
Yeah.
The roller coaster.
What we deal with over on the south side in Bella.
Got one over there too.
Mhm. Every time they build them up, gradually it goes back down.
The only way to fix it is dig it out.
Mhm.
Landfill.
Mhm.
Anybody got any comments about this? Questions? Not ready to vote on it. He's just presenting it to us tonight and he'll update it.
Get through July 1st to the last. On finalizing.
Good work. Appreciate it. And thanks for dreaming. Item 6D is SRF amendment to loan agreement, WW 262270 approval, and the council to take any action deemed necessary.
Probably approved previously, accrued interest went up. Went up, I think like $17.50. Yeah, it was 150, now it's 167.50. Because the number changed, we gotta get it, the addendum signed.
Motion,
Councilmember Grimes,
yes.
Councilmember Hampton.
Yes.
Councilmember Woodcock,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Yes. Okay, item 6E is the first reading ordinance to amend Perry Municipal Police Officers Retirement Trust Fund. Council to take any actions deemed necessary. Is this where I read?
Before you read, could we have some discussion on this? Because this is my first time
On what?
hearing of this.
On,
Changing,
yeah,
invested from 10 years, 8 years. Is there a study done on that one? I don't give you.
That was something that was done by the board that exists now, the chair and the officers. I was not involved in that. I have no idea how this came about. This is something that was done through them, through the management company, the retirement board, and the officers. I have no control over that. I do know that they did have some studies done. But as far as what was done and who did it, I have no idea.
A few meetings ago, someone was supposed to come here to discuss this.
Yeah, cause I don't.
And it never,
And if the chair never came to discuss it, I think,
It's probably what I know. No cost in the city.
Yeah.
Something.
I've heard there's no cost to the
Nope.
city. It's gonna be an increase in what the officers contribute to the fund to accomplish this.
So, do the council have to say so on this?
It has to be approved.
Right,
You have to have,
right.
you gotta have 2 readings and a vote and a public hearing.
Right, so,
Do the officers have representation on that board?
Yes.
Okay.
I think we did that presentation that never happened. I forgot about that.
Yeah, the presentation never happened.
I would hold off on this till you hear what the, I don't even remember what the name
yeah,
was.
Patrick.
just,
Patrick,
Donlin, Donlan.
he's with Foster and Foster. Where's he?
No,
He's with, Donnelly, that's right.
yeah.
I think that's the name of the place.
Before this can be done, they have to have an actuary done to determine the feasibility and the cost. And all that has been, well, if somebody wrote the ordinance, and that'd be the attorney for the board.
I just know that we approved 20 years for retirement and then you're able to come back and start all over again. That's the way I put it.
This is
So
just.
now
based
you,
on-
I understand that, boss.
That was
So-
two different, that was two
I
different changes.
understand
Yeah.
that, I understand that. So now we want to change from being vested for 10 years to 8.
Yes. This is more in line with what the state's doing with their retirement.
Okay, but I'd like to see more.
So I agree, it needs to be presented,
Yeah, this,
Okay, so we're gonna table that until,
but this is just the first reading anyway, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. There needs to be a presentation of it.
I think we should get a presentation before we proceed.
we'll table that until we get a presentation. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, you got 20 years and you start over again. And that second time to retire with 8 years instead of, be vested in 8 years instead of 10. To me, it seemed like it's stuff a different. That's just my thought. Okay,
Well, I haven't read this, I don't know, so we'd have to hear that presentation, but I think the reemployment after retirement would stay at 10 years. But I'm not sure.
yeah, but it's just so unfair to others. Employees who can't do anything.
Okay, so we're tabling that until we have a presentation from the board.
We will let them know.
I think firefighters do a dangerous job. I said, I think you all are also in a dangerous job.
We got stuff in the works too, so.
But I don't.
But it ain't, what we're looking for, not gonna cost nothing.
Can you
And
give
we'll-
I
some
don't
back?
understand.
Can you give some back?
I figured you'd take some out your pocket and put in retirement for.
I don't think she wanna do that.
Had his money, I'd go ahead and retire.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
thank you.
Okay, moving right along to item 6F. First reading ordinance for purchasing regulations, updates, and council to take any actions deemed necessary. This is an ordinance of the city of Perry amending financial matters of the city to update purchasing regulations, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith and approving an effective date. Open for discussion.
This is just the ordinance to update the purchasing manual that I presented a few meetings ago. Since I wasn't here last week, last meeting, I didn't want to put it on.
Mm.
Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept?
Think you need one, yeah.
This is the first reading.
First reading?
Yeah.
Second reading,
What?
second reading, you have a motion
Okay,
to accept.
okay. Moving right along. I could still ask if there was any discussion on it, might save time the next time. Okay, item 6G, council to appoint one citizen to serve on the Perry Police Pension Board of Trustees and take any actions deemed necessary.
We're in negotiation with a couple people, but they haven't agreed.
Okay.
That financial disclosure thing is scaring some people.
Scares them off.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, 6H, same thing for the Perry Fire Pension Board of Trustees. You had
We
somebody,
have one that entered, going last week. But, one of them that was on the board decided he didn't have time to, he changed jobs. He was working at the mill. Now he's working out of town. He didn't have, the time to show up to the meeting, so he's had to resign from it. So now we got another opening.
well, what about the first one though, that you were dealing with? You mentioned.
Erica,
She
Yeah.
accepted it.
she's accepted it. She
Okay, so
started,
you've only got one position?
we only got one position.
Okay,
We filled one that made us full, and then the same meeting, we
Gotcha.
lost one.
okay, so we keep putting that on the agenda till we get it filled up. Okay, 6I, approval of the minutes from the March 25th regular session. Any comments or questions?
Motion.
Second,
Roll call.
Who's second that? Mr. Brown. Councilmember Brown.
yes,
Councilmember Hampton.
Yes.
Member Woodcock.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Yes. Okay. We have a report from the city manager.
We're going out there looking more. I thought on one of these signs we talked about last time.
Mhm.
There really isn't a great spot to put it at either. I was thinking of one off the right of the road, you know,
Is that on North
this is coming
Jefferson?
from the north.
That's not.
Not
Yeah, that's right,
That's
they're close to
19.
Faith Baptist Church.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what I thought.
And
Okay.
you ain't gonna fit it right in here, you're not gonna put it in the sidewalk, you're not going out to their property. The other one isn't much better, you only have a little bit of shoulder before it drops off.
Mhm.
They recommended we do a sign in the median, so they've been doing that quite a bit. They gave us some options, I think it's this one. So you have something in the middle of the median, and on the backside, it would say, thanks for visiting, for the ones going out of town.
Oh, that's nice.
That's really nice.
We like,
Yeah, it's
we
pretty.
like parts of this one and parts of this one. Not really the color of that one, just the shape.
The shape of it.
I think I like that one better myself with the light from the ground
I think
up on it.
this one would have it too, yes,
Yeah,
they both have lights from the ground.
yeah.
I don't think anybody really like pine cone.
It's already in our logo anyway, so you said you don't until.
We got it right here.
Yes.
Oh, the additional.
Mhm.
Well, we said this one's not so white, that's gonna be possible to keep clean.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna talk it.
Well, and the brick goes along with some of the other stuff that we've got. Yeah, I really like that, the
That looks so
other
good.
one.
Power to it, so we can do solar up here and down here.
Mhm.
These are easily solar on by then, but
Pretty sure you can.
Last time we had somebody, department, no supervisor of election office. I think the hurricane really took it down.
It was at that substation, the power substation right
Somewhere
there.
about that, yes.
What, city limits?
No, it wasn't, saying that was just a Perry sign,
I was trying to, I supposed to city limits possible.
power substation by the hospital.
Yeah, and I know we talked about getting one before, but we had a hard time finding a place.
So a lot of people are starting to put them in the medians.
That's fine.
Don't,
I like it.
don't move forward or something like that.
Can I see the other one?
So you put them, but I don't think y'all like it either.
Lodge, that did.
It's not really that fit us.
That's really classy.
I like that.
This one, but a little darker, whatever they make out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see the other one again.
What's the difference in the price of that one and the second one?
So I think they're gonna design it for us so we can put it out for bid, and we'll get the prices back. I would think relatively the same, there is a little bit more with the lights. But it looks about the same brick and material.
Like that.
First one? I do too. So what did they recommend we do?
Tell them which one would you like better, or any changes we want to make to it, they'll draw it up in a 3D rendering, I think in our median, or at least in a median, the same size.
And put that logo on the other side.
Here.
On the third side?
I was talking about the way. Maybe, like somebody said this morning, you go in that welcome kind of blends in with the rim there.
Yeah, it stands out better there. doesn't it?
That's gonna stand out in the daytime. At night, that other one would look good. Mhm.
Yeah, like this, we talk about that.
Uh-uh.
Putting some
Mhm.
part of it,
I don't like that.
that would look very good for them.
Well, that could be changed. But I think keeping all those white pedestals white gonna be a challenge.
Yeah, I think we don't move forward with this look, but do something different with your color. A little darker.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do that, get back to what it looks like.
All right.
Enter back for about a week. I'll check up with it tomorrow.
We plan on doing it all at one time. Can't find out, see. We're driving through, I see it.
For RB's fire station. If we're gonna use the CDBG grant for purchasing the land. I needed an updated, I need a appraisal. The bank for the land that RB likes had an appraisal, but it's 2 years old. That's not gonna be good enough.
Mm-hmm.
I called that company, they'll update it.
We don't, we need to think about that a little bit. I don't really care what RB likes. I care what we can afford.
Don't do the chief.
And, we can't afford that,
So
especially when we've got someone willing to give us.
I think Jamie liked that better for the, I do care about what they like. I think he liked that better for the police station. And we're including the purchase.
Well, there's still other
Tell me
property.
where this is located.
That you talking about, Mr. Bill, what, an acre?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's not much.
It ain't gonna be
land.
sufficient for the
Well,
fire.
That's the issue with the fire station. being
Well,
there.
you can close that street and I guarantee you can buy that other property for less than $800,000
Something tough.
next to it.
He's pulling it off.
RV lots that the banks willing to sell to us. None of these buildings are here anymore. The bank sits about right here.
It's an old picture.
It's an old picture.
Oh, okay.
Well, I like it too, but I don't think we can afford it.
That's why I'm including the price of that grant application.
Bigger end.
Taylor Community Bank.
Madison County Taylor Community Branch.
Okay.
Oh, good, okay.
The-
The vacant
Where
lot to
Jackson's
the,
furniture was.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
That's a nice.
Yeah,
That
that's
area,
nice
that, I
area.
mean, thing that I like about it, it's got room for growth for
Mhm.
years.
Mhm.
Instead of having a department, the fire department in one place and having any kind of training facilities or anything else that we can get in the future. Having them in another place, everything be on the same
On that
lot
one
of land.
area, yeah.
That's my whole argument about getting something big enough that we can do everything in one area.
It is, I was gonna say, that's a
I
central
would like to say
location.
another 8 to 10 years, and I want, I want to keep building it.
Yeah,
Get a training facility and all whenever we can.
yeah, that opened the door to get fire programs here also.
Including the purchase price and the grant application.
Okay.
That's why I needed an updated appraisal. We don't get the land bought, we can get the fire station, so. Don't matter to me what the land costs.
and that was the first thing, I mean, that's what we were going for this year, right, was to get the land.
Do the appropriations, we're going for the design and construction. 300,000. For the CDBG, we're going for the actual land purchase and construction of the fire department. It's 6 point.
I got total is 5,958,110 plus,
So basically it's 6 million.
7, so.
yeah.
But I've also been told this is a really competitive CDBG cycle. The odds of getting this are very, very low.
Of getting it, that land,
Getting any of it.
any of it?
Yeah, I mean, there's only like 35 million in at this time, and we're asking for 7 of that, 6 point whatever,
In the CDBG, but not the appropriation.
not the appropriation.
I think she was asking, is anything appropriation?
You want to hear about that?
Actually,
Probably-
in April, you'll have a pretty good idea what it's.
The session closes in a second.
Yeah, so I get the government office.
Still got to sign about that.
Mm-hmm.
This, they were agreeing, I highly doubt. The only thing in our favor, it was a really tight turnaround to get this done. Let's do May 2nd. Unless we on top of the ball and their CDBG stuff ready. I'm hoping there's not a lot of applications in this one.
They definitely use it on me.
I'll read it like it's plain. I'd like to put the fire station here. And once we get all that finished, maybe put the police station here. We got a 12-inch water main that runs right through there. So we can't build anything on top of it anyway.
Unless we have the water line moved.
Is that the bank? Is that gray?
I drew the bank in about approximately where it is. That's the bank. This building doesn't exist.
Yeah, that building up there.
Yeah, that's gone.
Well, that's the old house. Okay.
Right.
The house is up top and then.
Or, yeah, the old building. Yeah, okay.
Bill's talking about.
Bacon Street at 19.
Right there.
Is that it?
We have everything.
Is that the canopy?
Combining
That's the
this-
canopy right there.
Yeah, this, okay, combining these lots.
Yep.
Here and here, and closing this street. Will give you. Pretty good amount of land.
Now, what is that?
So,
Bacon in 19, right across from Munchies.
Okay. Mhm.
Good, I like that spot because it's got 19 and 98th intersection right there.
Right,
You
there,
get anywhere.
yep. Mhm.
Yeah.
The central location too.
Points are easy, you can get anywhere in the city.
There you go. Mhm.
That's such an eyesore.
we believe this would be donated to us. We probably have to purchase this one if we wanted to do the whole.
You put that police station there, that'll beautify 19 also.
That would be.
A new building there would be.
Mhm. Yes,
Just that entryway into Perry or exit,
yes.
that area can be so unsightly.
Mhm.
If that's where you were dropped off in the middle of, I think this is Perry, you probably would know and invested. So
And you
nice
put it there,
building.
it'll stop a lot of the bad behavior also.
That very well too.
Yes.
That's only 1 acre right there, like another 2.5. I guess, a lot better than what you got now, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't think that'd be suitable for the fire station, but you have a good area.
I can hear
Full
my
room.
constituents.
You don't think it'd be suitable? Why?
You don't have a lot of room to turn the truck around and pull through the bay.
Yeah, you gotta have enough room to turn that truck.
You'd be backing up into the bay on a brand new station.
They already have to hold the street out here when they're backing in.
Yeah, you have to come in, build it funny looking.
Mm-hmm.
I've rode around, I've got on the maps and I've looked and that down by the bank is the best
I love that.
property I can
Mm-hmm.
come up with. Quick access, easy.
And you get to all your zones.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Won't have to do any kind of remodeling or whatever you want to call it to the Jefferson Street. Won't have to take no curbs out or do anything
Mm-hmm.
there except for what, maybe they on the side there where you drive in for the driveways. But as far
Other than
as-
that. And that also help if you guys get that ladder truck also.
And I'm working on something with a ladder truck also, we might can get real cheap or maybe even free.
Okay.
So I probably won't know nothing on it until October,
Mhm.
so it's looking real good.
Good.
It ain't a brand new truck, but it ain't old. It's in use right now, they just having to, there's a department down south that is doing away with a department.
Oh, okay.
So we got liquidate there.
Downsize. Mhm.
What happened to the plans of trying to put something downtown in the land? Right behind us. Weren't you thinking about,
That wasn't me,
was that really?
probably, yeah. That's why he wanted to purchase that property.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
That wasn't anything to do with me.
Ooh,
Where's your preference? On 19?
Yeah, I'd very, very be on 19.
Yeah.
Somewhere on 19, be And, you know, we've always talked about improving that area.
Mhm.
We got a lot of old vacant lots or where buildings used to be that have been tore down and just something as a catalyst to improve that area.
I rode by there today and just kind of glanced the backside of Munchies. It's like a garbage dump back there.
Yeah, we have, somebody working on that.
Good.
And until
Thank
we
you.
stop them from going back there, it's gonna remain a garbage dump.
Well, I don't know how you
I
stop them
think-
from going, but I mean,
She
Well, it
knows.
falls on that property owner, and that's the way that's the route we're taking with that.
yeah,
And one time we
Now, gonna
cleaned-
say it's all on that store, so.
we cleaned up that area and now it's getting back the same way.
yeah. it
He's
looked
gonna have to
bad.
stop him from learning.
They just gonna move from there and go somewhere else.
That's true.
Yeah, but we
Get
keep
off our
running on it.
streets.
We keep running on it.
That's true.
And we say that we're doing something about it. Now, I know y'all get tired of me. But I live in this district. I can hear it in my mind now. Why did you choose this area to put the voting station? Or why are you putting the fire department ready in this area? To me, it's all in a residential area, even though it's on 19.
What's its
Can
own?
you?
What's its own?
It's zone commercial, but it's in a residential area still. I'm not against it, but I know I'm gonna catch a lot of slack behind it.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you get that
why
in,
did,
put it anywhere there.
Diane, will you please let
I'm
me
sorry.
talk to John about it?
No, I would love to hear Councilman Hampton work. I would love to hear.
Well, y'all know my voice, and if I keep getting interrupted, it's gonna be,
You'll move that mic a little closer to help us hear you.
why didn't you say that? In my district alone, we have everything surrounding my district. All of the city smells, all of the noise. Everything is located right in that century, which is gonna be good. And it's gonna have 19, but I would like to have a public meeting on that before we decide. I know it's not gonna stop us from doing it. But at least we can give the public a chance to say something about it. Wake up in the middle of the night. Over and over and over again, you can't, it's gonna be very hard to sleep,
Not to cut you off, but
but please,
when it comes to the sirens at night, when you don't have that much traffic, we try our best not to even throw sirens on. You might see the lights, but you're not gonna see the sirens. Listen, you got somebody in front of you. Other than that, they don't too much run them at night.
The patrol officers should be hanging out at the station anyway. They're out patrolling.
Mhm.
They're gonna turn the lights.
They should be in their zones.
okay, I just have to say my part.
And this is just the idea phase now. This is just an idea phase. We're not saying it's gonna go there. We're not saying we're building tomorrow.
Mhm.
It's just, that's the location I think will be beneficial for us because of the amount of accessibility it has. I think it's beneficial that way. And I'm thinking like the disasters we've dealt with in the last couple of years. We're probably not gonna have a tree blow down across the road there in front of that if we had it there. There's not any trees there. We're not, I mean, block the roadways, but we can't get people in and out and help with assistance with others. So that's the things that I'm thinking about is where can we put a building to support the law enforcement section of the city that we can help others without being blocked in. During one of the hurricanes, I was out at the airport. We had to move because the EOC went down, the airport's the backup. We almost didn't get out of the airport because of the trees. But if we had a facility that we could withstand those winds in, we could leave quickly after the storm passes, we won't have any trees down the worry about. Now, I'm thinking about more than just where I would like it to be, where is it gonna benefit the city and the residents the best, and we must be able to do our job. So that's the consideration I have.
That's what Jamie and I both look at, what's gonna give us the quickest response time, what's gonna be the best and easiest routes for us to get out and get headed to it. Because the response time on our calls are what's critical. On structure fire, medical, stuff like that, you know, that's seconds makes a big difference.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's why I chose the area I chose, is this straight out, open, you could go quick access to anywhere. It would help reduce the,
Oh, I'm not against the, one baby. Yeah,
I think it's okay for the city to pay for updating the appraisal. I called this company that did it 2 years ago. Their fee was not to exceed 1,200. Called another company to do a whole brand new appraisal, and they were 2,000. That's it.
But you already got a price. I got a price, firm price.
They want a better appraisal for the application.
Yeah, they won't take it to
what
you.
they want. We might be able to get to them cheaper.
Have that appraisal at a high number.
In theory, that's true. But in fact, it'll never happen,
They told us they would work with us.
because you got to condemn it. And you don't have, you don't have the votes to condemn somebody's property in Perry. Well, that's what you're gonna have to do
To do what? I don't understand.
to get a better deal, and
Real estate ain't in the market like it was back in 2023 whenever
but
this was
that's
done.
what they want for it.
Well,
And the only way you get it is on a
it's
third floor.
appraised for more than what they're asking for.
And the grant will pay the appraised value. We'll be getting less than appraised value. But whatever they come up with.
When I was negotiating with them, they told me whatever the appraisal value was, it would be under that, a substantial amount of under it. So I feel like if we come back and the appraisal value's a lot less than what the last appraisal is, I feel like they'll work with us then. They didn't really have it up for sale, but they liked the idea of the fire department moving there, so they was like, okay, you know, we'll sell it to y'all, under the appraisal value. The appraisal value is like 950,000, I said around 800,000. That's $150,000 less than the appraisal value. I'm sure, you know, if we go back to them and say, we're gonna appraise it 700,000, you know, they might say, well, we'll drop it down to 700,000. They might say, well, you know, we'll give it to you for 500,000. Who knows? We won't know until we do that.
This grant application is due May 2nd, I believe, May 2nd.
Second, probably.
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
Gotta have this appraisal.
We gotta agree on something, because if not, it's gonna keep putting us behind the 8 ball when it comes to these grants.
It's good to have the highest appraisal value submitted with application. If
Yeah.
we find a better piece of land, that's just bonus.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather have the higher number go into the application.
my mind is got confused, so. You want us to give you permission to buy this land?
No.
They'll get it appraised.
Get it
pre-appraised.
praised.
We'll pray.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
So you No buying stage or purchasing stage
This is just.
until you get,
Grant fund.
right,
Whatever,
okay,
the city will never pay
I'm
$800,000
fine
for
with that.
5 acres land here.
I'm fine with that.
No.
4.9. Well, this says 4.83, I think it's 4.9.
I wish we could use the land on Fuller Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be outside your zone.
I know,
Mhm.
I know we got it on there.
If that land was uptown, I'd love to have it.
Yeah,
Okay, so what's the next step?
You need us to make,
Maybe they're not to exceed $1,200.
motion.
Have a motion?
Yes.
Do I have a second?
Second discussion. Where you get the money?
What revenue?
Everybody else takes it, might as well do something.
Well, we gotta set priorities. We got some things we gotta go ahead here.
Yes.
The thing with this is now is the time because of situations.
He doesn't get an okay on it, it's gonna put us behind.
Yeah.
I don't have a second.
Okay.
Yeah,
Councilman Grimes.
Brian,
Second,
yeah, he second.
or discussion.
I think the discussion was had, now it's just a standing.
Ah, Go to it.
Councilman Grimes.
yes.
Councilman Hampton. Councilmember Woodrow.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Yes.
So county and all that, we got the same DOJ letter, all the municipalities and counties got. So we were, well, Charlie responded, put my name on it.
Mm-mm-mm.
We pretty much said we're always in budget. on the
We don't need-
Budget, yeah.
Mm-mm. We don't need
That's
that.
the night that we transferred,
Mm-mm.
every fund back. We responded.
And we responded that, you know, with hurricanes and whatnot, sometimes it, like last year, in certain funds, it looked like we were negative, but if you look at it by the hurricane,
Mhm.
that is the majority of.
Yeah.
Just to try to be clear with them.
We're playing fair.
Well, it won't hurt to see what they say.
Six of us.
No, we don't need them.
We don't need them. Mm-mm.
You could have a chief.
Nope.
Come on.
We need every staff member we got.
Or 4 p.m.
Yes, I was gonna ask you about that.
There. Drafting the economic development strategic plan. They've asked all the city council members to be there. And then attend at least one of these workshops. Held throughout April. So y'all be at the county complex tomorrow and maybe one of these meetings.
That's at 4, isn't it?
It's, yeah, 4 p.m.
Okay.
Should have an email on that.
I do.
Oh, I got it.
Don't be too crowded.
Okay. Attorney Dempsey, do you have anything?
Yes, I just wanted to share just some very little of the experience with legislative action days that happened at the end of March, which is why I wasn't at that meeting. And John, when I spoke to him, he's like, oh, I forgot you said, or he didn't know that the dates were the same dates.
I knew you were going to that meeting. I didn't know it was then.
Yeah, so, Mayor Ward Ketchum went to the mayoral track and I went to the legislative track that had, or just like a city officials track, so, and I particularly was with the Northwest Florida League of Cities and the Suwannee River League of Cities that we're a part of. So there are people like in Bristol, They had council members, city clerks, mayors. I think they brought their whole front office with them. Places like Crestview, Carabel, Midway, Niceville, Pensacola. That was the group that we were in, and it was actually Florida League of Cities' largest group of officials that came on that day. They had 300, and we had meetings with different senators and representatives. I feel like Senator Simon and Representative Schoaf was one of the more popular. And so unfortunately, even though we were waiting to speak, or we had different assigned times to speak with people, we were waiting forever. But we did get to see a number of people, which I think is helpful always, because, you know, for anything to pass and to get through appropriations, it has to be voted on by everyone. So we did meet with about 8 of senators and reps. I particularly like, not that it matters if I like him, but Representative Manning, who is also known as Judge Manning. He used to be, I'm sorry, he used to be a judge. And I love the fact that he just talking about his history there. Every bill that he ever initiated or was like co-founded with has always gotten passed. And he left out. I was particularly interested in where our lobbyists felt he was in getting through the appropriations. I know a lot of things are a long shot, but I couldn't help while being there and at other meetings, the state continues to use the story of Taylor County and its 3 hurricanes in a year or 13 months as like something to be concerned about. Even with NPR, you read their forecast of legislation for this state, and they mention Taylor County by name under hurricanes. It's the only county they mention. So, you know, I hope it definitely works to our benefit. Even if it's a long shot, that Taylor County would be one of those counties that get a long shot appropriations, especially if they're using our story. And the fact that we're very, for the saddest reason, very exemplary of the counties that have been so impacted economically, not just with the hurricane, but with the closure of businesses. So I just want to just talk a little bit about that particular participation in those 2.5 days. And just other things that have been going on that are not, you know, they've been just referenced between myself and John Hart, but like the Elks Club, for instance, we're getting different, like always, requests for information or clarification. And the Elks Club wants to do like bingo again, and these 50-50 raffles that are really popular now. You guys know what I'm talking about? Because I didn't know what one was until going to Red Hat Society, where somebody gets like the whole pool of money, 50% of the whole pool, and they were just concerned of whether or not that was violating any local ordinance. And I was like, in my review of it, it hasn't. But I just want to make you aware, just in case there's something about that that's disturbing to you or is getting too close to what gambling type of limitations we do have in the city. So, and I'm looking into something with water and Super Puff that I just got information about yesterday afternoon, about just making sure some things they come in compliance with, but that's all I have to share for right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Carly?
So we went live with our utility billing software on Friday. Finally.
Yes.
It's going good.
Are you?
Good.
I mean, I'm very happy with it, but it went smoother than I thought it was going to on Friday. We only had a few issues. We still have one receiving issue that we're trying to work through with the implementation guy, and it's just a lot of back and forth with the software company, and but hopefully everything's linked correctly.
Did you say it went in this past Friday?
Yes,
Yeah, okay, great.
so we'll be able to start slowly doing email billing. We should have our new website to pay live within the next couple days. I don't want to say, but so when they go, it'll actually like the new city logo. They can pull it up by their address instead of having to have their account number. There's a lot of new things.
Good.
And we're learning a lot. So as we learn more, we'll try to put stuff out to the customers.
Good.
Good job.
One question. Online bill pay, the big clock It hides all of the costs.
The big clock
and-
On the current website.
on the current, okay.
Yeah, is it the same way on land bills,
Ms.
or
Sherman,
was that changed?
I actually had the pleasure of creating the first account for the new system for my own personal account to
Okay,
go in and pay. It's a total white screen. You don't see the city's actual website. Once you go into the Edmonds GovTech, you have the City of Perry logo. There's some verbiage there. You put your account information in, you sign in, it's all on there. It doesn't have a picture behind it. Right now, it's a white background, just like a standard webpage.
awesome, thanks.
So, and I know Carly didn't get to see that today when we were doing it today, so she wasn't gonna know the answer to that. Tell me reason why I interrupted.
No, you're good. thank you.
So,
Thank you, ma'am.
And I don't live in the city, so I don't really,
right,
I don't know how the old.
we used mine as a
Yeah.
guinea pig account.
You're doing a good job.
That's it.
Thank
Very
you.
user friendly.
Good.
Very user friendly. Easy to do. It's just like setting up any other account. We create a login and password, put your information in. It could save your payment method if you would like. You can choose on your own if you want to do auto draft. You have the options at your leisure.
Okay,
So
Yeah, I'm gonna do
it's very
auto.
user
Usually like a
friendly.
lot of the other
Okay.
companies that
Mhm.
everybody uses.
Very user friendly. You
It's
can
not
look at
very
everything. It
big,
shows
yeah.
you your bill. It shows you the breakdown of it. You can see all of it right
Well,
there.
good.
Very
Terry's
easy.
getting up to date.
I know.
yeah.
It's
We need your
exciting.
money easier.
Chief Bruce,
I don't have anything to discuss.
about you, Mr. Lee.
I think I've done discussed everything I needed to discuss. Thank y'all.
Okay. Street and Sanitation Department report,
Danielle's not.
Danielle. Water Department? Nothing? Everything's going great?
As smooth as we can at the moment. We had somebody hit a fire hydrant out on Landry Road last week, but that's been repaired.
Yeah. I saw one, I guess it's one of the fire hydrants and it was bagged in black.
There's no bagged in black hydrant.
Okay, there's something bagged in black.
That's a sign. I think I saw it earlier too,
Okay.
to be honest, but
Okay,
on Jefferson,
yeah. Mhm.
somebody's got a sign out by the road with a black trash bag over it. I don't know. I saw it.
Whoa.
Pedestal maybe, but it's not a fire hydrant.
Okay, good.
Maybe a
I thought
yard
maybe they'll
sale
change
sign
from
for
orange to
Saturday.
black, Halloween or something. Okay, wastewater,
Pull up manhole real quick, please.
yep,
That,
God never fails.
that manhole is at the end of Drew Street. How deep do y'all think that is?
Hmm.
not more than 10 feet from looking from here.
Well, if you count the steps,
One,
it's about maybe 3 feet from the top at the most. Well, that manhole's about 12 foot deep.
12,
So it's, it's got quite a lot of debris in it. We had a clog on 19 last week. And it basically affected close to City Hall. The issue is, we have an old jetter. Well, yes, I should say. That will only reach about 500 feet. Some of those manholes are further apart than 500 feet. The issue is, you said, well, there's 1,000 feet apart, you go on this one, get 5, you go on this one, get 5. Well, if this one's full of water, we can't see the pipe, we can't get in it. One of my employees had to enter the manhole, he went in like 3 different manholes, probably 6 different times. Just because of the way the manholes are and the size of our nozzle. Our grant for our back truck fell through. So we are in need of it. Andrew had the idea today to rent a back truck to clean. I got some quotes for that. But I'm just trying to make you aware of this because like when the capital outlay comes around, we do have a back jetter combo truck in there. They're not cheap, but, it's city sanitary sewers never really been cleaned thoroughly. Basically, like we were lucky to get that relieved, basically all that debris just flowed down to another section. We don't have to take it all out. So, but that's just, I would like to have one, so in an emergency, we could relieve the clock, cause I hate. If you ought to call me and say, why is this flowing, and how can't you do it, because we don't have the equipment, it's just, there's so much debris, sand, grit, oil, grease. It's just built up to the point, We were able to unclog it, but we were out in 19 and drew to about 9 o'clock. And then some the next day, but, like I said, all that material you saw, it just basically went somewhere else. And every manhole, there's 2 manholes on 19 and 2 on Drew that would look exactly like this.
So is there equipment out there that will extract it?
Yeah, it's called it's a combo truck. It's a jet and vac truck. Basically, as you jet, you can use the suction of the truck to draw material out, and then we can take it to the plant, dump it in the drying beds, and then from there, put it in the dumpster and go to landfill.
Well, I know we have some culverts that have broken. And the concrete looks to me like it could actually fall in to a culvert.
Well,
How would you get that out?
Well, that's different from the sanitary. But
That's storm drain, not sanitary sewer. They're 2 separate systems.
But the truck could be used for both.
For both? Okay.
We had plans to get a non-CDL. There's so much debris, we want as big as we can get, to hold as much material as we can to save the trips back and forth. But, and like I say, even if we do rent a truck, I got a quote today, it's like $4,000 for a week. It'd probably take us a week just to clean Drew Street, so if we did it, I would probably look to get it maybe close to 2 weeks to a month. But, we check the line, it is flowing. So we're just hoping we don't cause problems somewhere else. We hope it doesn't turn and go down the creek where we don't have a lot of access. So we just want to start, we want to get the ability to start drawing this stuff out. And I don't know why, but like I said, the manholes are so far apart. Mayor, how far would you say a manhole should be apart? No more than 500 feet?
Yeah, normal new standard is between 4 and 5. So, but I think you have something more than.
We have some over 1,000, around 1,000.
So the Jetta truck is, if you can get one, that's a necessity for sewer treatment in the future. DEP bringing some regulations into. So, several cities, maybe the one that's probably one by, see how it goes. In the future, you may want to budget some, but it is, 10 years ago, it was a different story now, the new regulations and everything, the way you're seeing it, you're gonna need it. Somewhere in the future, so you must start budgeting one year. Then maybe, DEP comes out with some resiliency. They may come up with it in the near future, so we can ask for it. USDA did, but they didn't. This is one of those things you're gonna have to, look at. How it's motorized. And a lot of people, the grant funding is tied to income, tied to other stuff, so that's why it's really hard to get things that has legal on, who the money. So, but USDA comes in, I think, John, the last one fell through, they ran out of money, so. This is a necessity that, but if you look at the regulations, how the grant works, this is the least scoring points. Item. So that's why when you have a bunch of other comes in, then you may want to put it in your CIP and, have somebody else, some other projects get funded and then you can buy this. But, many cities have between 3 to 5 trucks and bigger cities. The smaller one, I think you can go ahead and rent starting and take once a month. So once every, 6 months, well, not that very good, but this is good for your sewer system. We had some issues, I think, on one of the areas near the creek where eventually you're gonna pay for it if these are not.
Michelle, the cheapest one was the 4,000.
Well, I got one. I rented from one other place. They're roughly the same.
My same.
We just want the largest one we can get to remove as much debris as we can. You know, the issue would be, we could get a truck that's small, but instead of making 10 trips, it takes 20. So, that particular manhole right there is on Drew Street also, and that's just pure grease and just years of mud and grime.
How often do those supposed to get cleaned out? They've never been cleaned since they got installed.
I mean, as far as I know, the city of Perry never has we never had a preventative maintenance program like a jet cleaning schedule. Like I say, you can jet, but you're just passing it.
Somewhere else.
It's just, so you're not
Kicking the
drawing
can
it out.
down the road.
So,
John, I see we have it here on the capital outlay, for 25, 26. Is that for a grant or is that gonna be where we're gonna purchase it?
Grant.
We're looking at a grant for it? All right, okay.
How's that gonna work with phase one?
550,000.
This is all about cleaning the camera. Yeah, that's that phase one, you can clean a camera at some point. But, then you can go to the next phase, but eventually, they will not pay for your drum. Anything on wheels. We will get it cleaned through that grant loan eventually. But that actually, I think you just got it, so that needs to be moved forward with it because of this issue, and then I think the wastewater treatment facility flow almost went up to the max capacity.
yeah, we're over, we got a warning letter. We're under now, I think, but. We have a lot of sand in the line too, and it's actually damaged one of the main lift station pumps. We've repaired it, but it basically wore it out prematurely. Just running sand. So that's another reason we need the truck to clean the lift station.
That's why I have a new permit, plan, which should be in the next 5 years. They have, what is called a contingency plan. Every wastewater treatment facility will have to have one. That requires you to clean 5% of your line every 5 years. So it's coming. So they're gonna make you clean. These lines are not being cleaned for.
Sound like since they got installed.
So I think they will, once they put those requirements, you may get opportunities. Get it, right? What has to be, see what it is. If they're making a regulation, we have to ask them, see what it is. But I'll say, you know, if you can rent one and get something you can complete. Take it off.
John, where will we get the money from?
Start going up on utility bills, we'll be able to report it.
That's right.
But that was recommended years ago.
No, it's not a good year for that.
So I'm not saying it.
But I would say, one of the problems that I know, like, I remember the city trying to buy a truck a few years ago. The same truck is like 420,000, 550.
Just that short of time.
As long as you put it off, the more it's gonna be. Yeah. That's true of anything.
You rent it for how much? Sure.
If I read it right, I sent a quote to John, did you get it? I think it's 4,000 a week.
And he needs it for
Let's
at least a
not
month.
look at the cost for a second. And I don't want to be the one to say that, but look at the safety aspect.
That's
Right now,
right.
you have.
And that's what I'm
crews that have
leaning
to get in
forward
the
to.
hole and Clean this out by hand effectively,
Mhm.
and it's taking them twice as long to do that work, so your labor hours are going up along with the fact that it's just not safe
Mhm.
or sanitary.
Exactly.
Well, Drew had to get in the manhole just to put the nozzle in it because of the size. You know, we get a larger truck, It'll be large enough to be tapered, it can jump over like the lip of the pipe, it wouldn't go in there. So he basically, in the way the chimney of the manhole was constructed, it's real skinny and it goes down, so we really couldn't swing it in there.
Mm-hmm.
But he went down in each manhole and placed it in the line so we could clean.
But if you rent the truck to be able to do it, it may cost a little
Is that it?
upfront, but the labor and time you save, along with the safety of the crews, it is built for that.
We need to call Musk and tell him to come down here and
No,
You got his number, Mr. Bill?
no.
I'll put it on John's to-do list if you got his number.
Yes. I would like to see, I know that some of this stuff we're looking at waiting for grants for it, but I would like to see some of this stuff, like when we're doing the budget, when it's important stuff like this, that we put it in the budget to get paid for, especially something that we know that we're gonna need in the long run. Instead of us waiting, I know grants are good, but this is something that is needed. It's a safety hazard for those guys and someone passing over that manhole, and so I would like to see that.
So it's been in the capital outlay for several years.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. So it's like we just keep kicking it.
It's been in over 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Almost 5% of your whole annual budget.
Well, when you have emergencies, you have to take care of them first before the dream list, so,
Exactly.
yeah. Okay, we got anybody from the gas department here? Nobody here from the gas department or parks?
Mm-mm.
Anybody on the city council want to talk about anything? Miss Shirley? Okay. Bill? Miss Benita?
Oh, no, but good job, both of the chiefs with your land. I like it. Just keep doing your homework.
Hey, there's nothing else, we'll be adjourned.
Hey,
you know,
for me.
Mm-hmm.